travel or not to travel? That is the question. This is a mortgage banking live stream. Welcome. This is the Mortgage Banking live stream. Today is December 2nd, 2021. I'm Troy Garris Horn, and we try to bring you the best of politics, the best of regulations, the best of business, a mix of all those. If you have any questions, you can contact me. My contact information is down in the YouTube channel below, and feel free to reach out to me. You can text me, you can call, you can email me, any one of those works. As we get going here, a couple shouts out. Conferences have restarted. They actually started a few months back. I've been to several conferences now. They began around August 2018, where it was back live, and it's going pretty well, really. There are these signs and variations and problems that COVID has brought along as people try to ramp back up, but things seem to be going pretty well, really. And so we're interested to find out what happens. I will tell you, I will be out at California MBA's Legal Issues Regulatory Compliance Conference next week. That's going to be in San Diego, and it promises to be a fantastic event, as it always is. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody out there. People should stay safe. People should be cautious and protective. But there's also a reasonable approach that people seem to be taking. Omicron, of course, is out there rearing its ugly head, and people don't really know what this latest iteration is or what it will bring. But people are hopeful, and I like that. I will also be the Texas Land Title Association will be in San Antonio next week as well at the end of the week. This is the Institute, and that's a great organization. I am always impressed by TLTA and the things those people bring, that organization brings, and that they do. All that is just very admirable. Our own Garris Horn, I'm over at Garris Horn, of course, and Garris Horn is having its end-of-year webinar. It's the end-of-year to-do list. That's on December 16th. And just right around the corner is the National Mortgage Bankers Association's IMB conference. That's going to be in Nashville this year. Nashville's a fantastic city. I've spent some really good time in Nashville, and there's just a lot to do. There's very cool city, very cool areas in that city, and wonderful people there. And so I encourage you to think about the IMB conference. We are hiring also, just to put that out there to people. We don't hire from clients, so keep that in mind. But otherwise, we're always looking for good people. In particular, right now, if you're out there and you are in this business, especially, give me a shout and let's chat. Let's talk business for a moment. Mortgage applications are down pretty healthily, actually, 7.2% from the week prior. But it's the sign really of an evolving market. It's not concerning necessarily. It's just something to keep your eye on. But 7.2% down. I will tell you though, IMB profits were up in third quarter. And that's a good sign. They're up from the previous quarter. They're still down pretty significantly from year over year, but 2020 was an amazing year for a lot of mortgage bankers. Now, this is including both data from the IMBs, the independent mortgage bankers themselves, and also the subs of banks that are focused on mortgage. But it's pretty good, healthy data, and something that shows and reveals that people in this industry have done very well for themselves and very well for the communities that they support, and all at a time, all in an area, an industry that helps other people, which I find to be one of the true draws of what makes this work that I do satisfying. couple of other items. The 22 originations projections from NBA, they're expected to be for the volume of originations projected to be down by the NBA economists pretty healthily. Its report was suggesting that there's going to be 1.3 trillion down actually for 22. But keep in mind though, this is, first of all, these are just projections, and economists are the first to tell you that at best these are swags, right? These are educated guesses that people in the industry, people that are focused on this, predict. And as a point, to highlight that, the 2019 projection of, for example, the median existing home price, back in 19, they expected that by this time the median home price was going to be around 290. As it turns out, the median home price, the actual in 21 was 345, significantly different from what the projections were, which tells you a couple of things. First of all, that NBA is on its game, and NBA is always focused on providing guidance and data and projections and information and is helpful to the industry. They have a fantastic organization. Secondly, it tells you that projections are just what they say, they're projections. And like I said, economists will be the first to tell you that projections are at best guesses, educated guesses, helpful guesses, but guesses no less. A couple other things. The M&A market, in my own anecdotal experience, was quite healthy in 2021. There was a solid market. We're talking about mortgage. We're talking about other areas too, but I'm mostly focused on the mortgage side of things, and I was involved in a fair number of M&A deals, and those, I think, again, anecdotally, personally, it seems that more of those closed than usual that when they started out. And the rumor on the street, sort of grapevine information, is that 22 sounds like it's going to be pretty similar. Question though, what are you guys hearing? Provide some information below. Just make some comments and let us know, or shoot me a text, shoot me an email, give me a call. Let's chat about it. The market, I think, is going to be healthy for some time. Regulation. Let's talk about regulation just a moment. First of all, the NMLS renewal period. If you're not already involved or focused on getting your NMLS licenses renewed, you're behind the game. But get it in. The period began on 11/1 on November 1st. Some of those deadlines are quite quick. For the overarching, for the majority of states, the end is December 31st. But we're here December 2nd, and some of the periods are already over. And so you got to get that information in. You got to get those submissions for renewals in fast. Let's switch to CFPB for a moment, because the new director, Rohit Chopra, is now, of course, he got sworn in back in early October. And, he is already taking charge, and he is already focused on pushing missions forward. There's a lot of focus, for example, on fair lending. It's something that's very dear to him, and something that, in fact, even the acting director prior to him, and even despite what some people say, even the prior director, Kraniger, fair lending has been a real focus of the CFPB for a long time. Now, CFPB is, they're talking about gathering information. In fact, they're asking for information from people in the industry and gathering what they can to try to figure out whether any additional tweaks and modifications should be made. I'll tell you too that Dave Uegio, the person who was the acting director of CFPB, he's been nominated, as many of you know, over at to be at FHEO at HUD, Fair Housing Equal Opportunity at HUD, and there was a hearing back in August, and the Senate Banking Committee voted, but it didn't move forward yet, at least, and we'll see what happens there. But he will most likely be, or at least he's expected to be, over at HUD, again, focused on fair fair lending issues on the Fair Housing Act side. And fair lending, you recall, is a variety of different laws. Like people talk about it as if it's just fair lending and that's a particular law. It's not. You have the Fair Housing Act, you have ACOA, you have HMDA, you have state requirements, you have UDAP issues. There's all kinds of ways that fair lending and fair housing come into play. And so it's something that people should really be focused on. One of my partners actually is heavily involved in a case with regards to a particular independent mortgage banking company that has been sued by the CFPB, and so our firm is involved in that. And it's the regulators are aggressive, and people should be focused on what that means. And we're in this business to help the community first, and then secondly to make money as well and feed your own families as well. And so if you care about this industry, you'll be focused on that. And it's an area that is certainly developing. I'll mention too that HUD released its Fair Housing Act complaint data. Interestingly, something that a lot of people, I think, would not guess if you just asked the person on the street, the mortgage banker on the street, what is the single biggest area of complaints. Now, the Fair Housing Act, keep in mind, it applies to real estate, it applies to lending, and it applies to other areas of housing. So it's not just lending. But by far, more than twice any other complaint was disability. We'll talk about this a little bit in later shows, because disability is an area that a lot of people ignore and don't think about whenever they're thinking about how they run their businesses. But there is a large and growing population of people that both suffer from some sort of a disability, and then secondly, that are also becoming aware that they have rights under various laws in the disability area. So it's an area certainly you want to be attuned to. Don't be caught short on that. The second biggest category of complaints, although the data gets confusing, I'll tell you why in a sec. But second biggest area, is race. There were just under 2,000 complaints in 2020 based on race, but again, 4,612 complaints based on disability. But in the race area, the category is more confusing, because in addition, HUD categorizes complaints by retaliation. There could be a lot of overlap there. By national origin, could be a lot of overlap there. By color, could be a lot of overlap there. So it's not entirely clear that these are the categories that are the biggest, because it lacks very segmented or clean data in that sense. And I'll tell you too that CFPB has issued a mortgage market activity trend, and they have a fascinating chart in there that can help show some people some differences in connection with fair lending that you probably want to take a look at. If you need any of this information, just give me a holler and I can send it to you. I can point you to it, and you can get the information that you need. One thing is clear: there are problems in the fair lending area, fair housing area, and we will continue to talk about this. It's an area that's very important to me, very dear to me, both in our firm's practice, but also just in terms of my own personal experiences, and something that's really important. And happy to talk with anybody about it if you want. Also, it's clear that the regulators are going to be focused and are focused on this area. I got to run because my daughter is going to the dentist today to get a couple of teeth pulled. Ouch. But I will be back, and thank you for all your support. A couple of shouts as I leave here. Joy McGee. Joy, thank you so much. Great seeing you recently too. Steve McGurl, good seeing you. Logan Manning, just some great people here. Alonzo Sheffield. Alonzo, great seeing you. And Thank you for the support. James Eiley, hope you're good, James. Just so many great people. I will talk to you again very soon. This is Troy Garris, the Mortgage Banking Live Stream. Peace out.